The fight against controversial provisions of the TCP law is far from over. We make it clear that Goans are in no mood for a token rollback because this people's movement is demanding full accountability and real repeal. The Goa government has removed Section 39A in St. Andre's constituency, just one constituency. Following this, MLA Vireh Borkar has called off his hunger strike, but let's be clear, this is not the repeal of the law, this is not state-wide rollback, this is a selective pause, not policy correction. Section 39A continues to exist across Goa. The protest may be paused at one side, but the larger resistance across Goa is very much alive. But what followed the protest raised serious questions. An FIR has been filed against Borkar and the villagers, accusing them of theft of files from the TCP office. Protesters say officials and police were present throughout and the CCTV cameras covered the premises. The question is unavoidable. Is this law enforcement or intimidation? Is this due process or warning shot to silent dissent? When citizens protest planning decisions that alter their villages, does the state respond with dialogue or criminal cases? Goans are angry, upset because Section 39A allows non-settlement zones to be converted with administrative approvals, bypassing public consultation. Villages fear irreversible changes to ecology, habitation pattern and land ownership. The anger is not political, it is grassroots. It comes from the villagers who say planning is being done for builders, not residents. This is about who controls Goa's land and who pays the price when zoning changes overnight. So is removing the Section 39A from one constituency enough when the law remains intact elsewhere? Should protesters face criminal charges for demanding transparency? And most importantly, will the government engage with the Goans of comprehensive reform or continue with the peaceful damage control? The message from the ground is clear. This is definitely not enough. The fight continues and we will keep asking the questions until Goans get answers, not assurances. And these are the visuals of recent past when one of the bars, a dance studio was brought down. And it was brought down because a dance studio was being run illegally. So this was the consequent action and rapidly a lot of things were done. But the question is encroachment, illegal construction, not adhering to the law. Is the prosperity becoming a bane for the Goans? Is there too much construction that is happening? Yes, Goa needs tourism, it needs that money, rightfully. Goans are very hospitable, inviting, that is why tourists feel at home there. But what about responsible tourism? And what about the Goanese way of life? On this issue, I'm joined by Justice Fardino Rebello, former judge, lawmaker, public activist. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. My question to you is this enough?
Mr. Karthikeyan, thank you for, I think it's a repeat call yesterday and today.
Absolutely, sir. Sometimes you need to stay on the story.
I know that that's fair on your part. See, at the end of the day, the demand made by the Enough for Enough movement is that Section 39A must be scrapped. Okay. Now, why? And what we have found is Mr. Vireh Borkar, the MLA, had gone on protest in respect of certain applications made in his constituency for changing the zoning to settlement, which otherwise in the regional plan were not in the settlement zone. They were hills, they were natural zones, etc. But that really is no answer. Well, what has happened is it's only in one particular area that it is either in abeyance or held back. I don't think that they have been recalled. But what about the rest of Goa? Our demand has been that this has to stop. And why has it to stop? Because originally Section 16A of the Town and Country Planning Act said that once a regional plan is notified, all development must be in terms of the regional plan. The first tampering started in 98 by bringing 16B. Thereafter, 16B was repealed and brought in 2439A, which just allows anybody without consideration of the ecosystem, without consideration. See, in law, when you want to change something, there has to be something called application of mind. There have to be certain principles based upon which you will change. Now, Section 38, the 39A has no such principles. You make an application and somebody sits down there, no application of mind, somebody may file objections. Objections are filed, they have been overruled for reasons not discernible. I may use the legal language. And this is going on for the last from 24 onwards on the large scale. Number of applications, I think, are about, I can't just don't have them just now in my hand.
Okay.
Are substantial. And out of them, nearly 12 lakh square meters of land have, or 13 lakh square meters of land have already been converted using this. Actually, what is worrying us is not only this part, conversions. What is worrying the movement and the people of Goa generally is now they are going into our villages in our talukas bordering the Western Ghats, and they are changing the demography of our villages. A village which may have some 50 to 100 houses, they are bringing in projects to house 200, 300 plots, and none of these plots are going to be purchased by Goans. That's one part. Two, there is no electricity, no regular water supply, no sewerage systems, and you are bringing in large projects, thereby affecting the livelihood, the electric supply to this infrastructure. I will use the word infrastructure for
Okay.
the people, which is now not in terms of what should be. No sewerage, groundwaters are getting contaminated, topsoil is getting contaminated, and nobody seems to have been bothering about this all the while. So this is what bothered people like me and others who have come around. Of course, we had a few NGOs consistently fighting in the high courts for every conversion, and my thanks to those NGOs led by Goa Foundation and Mr. Prabhu Desai, who have been for a long time articulating this cause on behalf of the Goan people. And then we thought a time has come to bring forward all these people together. Yes, people go on saying development, development, development. We have made it very clear. From on the channel, I want to also make it very clear. We are not against development. We say confine this development within the settlement areas notified in the original plan. Secondly, if major projects come, projects which will provide jobs to our people, not these housing projects which provide no jobs to our people.
Okay.
Which only are destructive of the environment, are cutting into their infrastructure with no benefit to them. So these are our concerns which we have been articulating. So therefore, what has happened by the MLA calling of this hunger strike, what we use the expression tip of the iceberg. The iceberg is still hidden.
Yes, basically, sir, you are saying tip of the iceberg. Mr. Prabhu Desai, thank you so much for joining me again. Your opening comments, is this enough?
How can it be enough? Okay, it is just, I would say it is not even the match has started, it is just a net practice. Okay, and we are still going, I mean, the match is far ahead.
Okay.
And maybe the first over is now coming in the assembly which is starting on 6th March, where it is a real challenge now to all the 40 MLAs to show that they to show their love for Goa's greenery, everything, because now this issue, especially after MLA Vireh Borkar's hunger strike, 6-day hunger strike, which we withdrew yesterday. Okay, the whole one part of it, that land grab is there, but Section 39 has gone into DNA of all Goans. Okay, as a journalist, let me tell you, forget the party which Vireh Borkar belongs to, his workers or his villagers, where basically, especially women folk is coming in a big way on the road. Okay, they were sleeping in the TCP office the whole night. Okay, and they have shown it earlier also in another struggle, Chimel, or another struggle in Pedne, in Arambol. That was one thing, but basically people from cross section of society were visiting Vireh Borkar. That was one thing. Yesterday there was a football match, and at the football match, people were holding banners, scrap 39A. It has gone so much in the DNA. If you go to Instagram, all the young people, students are making reels on this and explaining the younger generation basically what is 39A. So it has gone into the DNA of Goa, right from the youngsters, students to old people. Everybody is today is on a warpath, I would say. So now it is a challenge to the legislators, because 80% of these legislators are involved in land dealings, whether they are opposition, whether they are yes, I'm telling you as a journalist, whether they are opposition or whether they are ruling. Okay, parties don't matter. Today, the only underground party that is functioning in Goa is a land mafia party. And that's why it is a challenge to prove them if they want to get elected in the next election. The election is coming in next year, 2027. Otherwise, all will go home. It is that kind of mood people are in right now.
Okay. Justice Rebello, is land mafia the real nightmare for the average Goans, the builder mafia, the land mafia?
See, I would I would slightly put it this way. Wherever housing complexes somebody plans for, a mafia is created.
Okay.
See, for the worst for me is that members of our legislature when they passed Section 39A, nearly 50% of them are applicants under the section. Addressing the legislators, I asked them, where in India have you ever heard laws being made by legislators to benefit themselves? Section 39A has been enacted in the Goa Assembly. And if you see the names of people who have applied for conversion of land under 39A, of course, they are not going to develop the land. The land is going to be developed by a third person. They are the ones who have purchased the land or own the land. And pursuant to Section 39A, they have made these applications. Now, this is one part of it. There are more worrying aspects. Now, there's something called Section 17A. Now, Section 17A was brought in, you cannot cut hills without the permission of without the permission of the chief town planner. Mm-hmm. Now, no rules have been made till date as to how the chief town planner is going to exercise his discretion. Hill is defined as 10% gradient. It is not defined. Now the chief town planner had issued what is known as a memorandum explanation in 2010 saying we will follow the Surveyor General of India's topographical plans. After this amendment in 2023, Some new guidelines were given by the Town and Country Planning Board, which has no jurisdiction because the power is of the Chief Town Planner, and they have allowed private individual architects to say that the plans prepared by the Surveyor General of India are faulty. Because that said, you can't cut above 25 gradient. Now the private surveyors say that the Surveyor General of India's plans are faulty. What we are now submitting is correct. And the Town Planning Department does not raise the question. Why don't we refer this matter back to the Surveyor General of India for their comment?
Okay.
So that ought to have been the proper course of action.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Mr. Prabhu Desai, you know, before I close in this discussion, do you think that the Sahyadris in Goa or the Goa's hinterland are in real deep risk?
Oh, everything. It is from coastland to hinterland. Everything. I come from Kankon. Okay, Kankon is supposed to be in the a place which is a place of hinterland, forests, paddy fields, you know, the coconut plantation, orchards and all. Kankon, people have reached Kankon right now and buying properties there in a big way. I was shocked when I got this thing. You know, under 39A, which Justice Rebello was saying. Okay, the latest reply, assembly reply where I get that whether there are 1,220 applicants and the land involved is 68 lakh square meters. And out of that zone which is changed is of 150 cases which involves land of 9.30 lakh square meters. Can you imagine? Okay, with this, they are now from coastline, they are going inside. And everywhere they are reaching, and that's why people are agitated from all over Goa, because everywhere they are reaching. That is the case.
So you are saying basically it's also changing the demographic pattern of Goa?
Yes, demographic pattern in the sense, I would say, if they come and stay here, if they come and live here. But this is, I told you earlier also that yesterday also in a debate that it is a big tourism racket of illegal tourism. Where
what is illegal tourism? Tell me, there is tourism, there is responsible tourism, there are bad tourists. What is illegal tourism?
Illegal tourism means basically tourists come here and they go and stay in residential houses, which these people have bought as holiday homes. They are not registered. Nothing is registered. The houses are also not registered as tourist places, and these tourists are also, because you know, if you and me go to a hotel, on the counter we have to give our PAN card or Aadhaar card, and then you have to be registered. Tomorrow if some crimes happen, then you don't get any evidence also, because you don't know who are the people who are staying there. They are just online booked and they come and live there. So that is completely illegal. And this illegal tourism was finally, you know, earlier after COVID, there was a report prepared by tourism department, where earlier there were the legal tourists were shown as 56 lakhs, and finally they reached the figure of 1.5 crore per year. So can you imagine how big is this illegal tourism which is running through these holiday homes which are built by this means, by the land mafia? That is the issue. And it is just not Delhi, please. It has, like, I had gone to Ranchi, and while coming back, I met some people who are real estate dealers, basically from Jharkhand. So it is spread everywhere, and people are coming and doing this business.
Okay. Thank you both of you. And as I said, that we will continue to pursue this story, because this story is about environment, this story is about Goans, which is such a beautiful state, and this story is about India, that yes, people have right to move, settle, be everywhere, but it should not come at the cost of the people who stay there. That's the most fundamentally important.